Now let's take our query string and break it down into some usable variables that we can feed to our Perl script. We're going to create another script called get.cgi, and the first thing this is going to do is pull in the raw data. And the raw data is going to be the contents of the query string environment variable. Once we've got our query string, let's print that out. If we move over to our web browser and run get.cgi with no query string at all, we get a blank page. If we append anything at all to the end of our URL with a question mark before it, then that's passed to the page as a query string. However, it's still not breaking the information down in the way that we want it to. We need to split it up into the different key value pairs that make up the variables. These are our get variables. So let's create an array that will contain our pairs of keys and values. Now to do this, we're going to use the split function. The split function takes two arguments. The first of which is a regular expression. So we enclose that within forward slashes, and our regular expression is going to be very simple. It's just going to be the ampersand character. And that's how we're going to split each of the key value pairs apart from each other. So we'll have every variable passed to the query string split off on the ampersands. Let's do a quick loop over raw get pairs and print out each variable within it separated by a new line character. And we'll also include a BR tag to make this friendly for the web browser. Now if we include some data here, then as you can see, we've succeeded in splitting the key value pairs apart from each other. We still haven't got a way of accessing the data in a usable form though. We've just got variables containing something equals something else. So what we need to do is we need to split once again each of the pairs of keys and values down into a key and a value. We can do this by creating a list on one side, key val, and this acts as a kind of an array. We could do this by setting up an array, or we could do this by using a simple list like this. It does exactly the same job, except we're able to name the two variables that we're receiving from our next split function. And that's what we're going to use to break up the key value pairs. We're going to split on the equals character because that's what divides each of the keys from the values. We're not going to specify any particular variable to run the split function on because we're able to use the $_ default variable, which we don't need to put in because that's the variable that's used if we don't specify any other. So here we're just splitting on the equal sign, and then we need to set the value of key to value. Let's print out a string to make it more apparent what's going on here. Now if we run our script again, here we're getting the information in a more usable form. But what we're not doing is we're not assigning real variables named the same names as we're passing through the query string. So the name that we want to give to our variables is whatever the value of the key variable is. So we can do that by using two $signs before the variable name. This is in effect setting a variable name of a variable. So we're saying whatever the value of the key variable is, that's going to be the name of this variable. and we're going to set the value of this new variable to the value of the val variable. Finally, here, let's try printing out the name variable to see if this works. The name variable is one of the variables I've included here in the query string, so that's what the script is expecting. The script has successfully found the value for the name variable and it set that to Philip. So by using this double $ here, we're able to dynamically create variables with whatever name is passed to the script via the query string.